Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the live stream where we first review the watch list and then we trade the market open every day. Hope everyone had a good Wednesday. We're able to snack some nice trades, maybe PHUN, because wow, that was a flyer. Today is Thursday already. It's the 21st of May and it's 15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got another 15 minutes till the market opens. Let's see, we wrap up the stream between 10:30 and 11 a.m. Check out the video descriptions below for some FAQs. Let's dive right into it. I got CLSK up here, kind of watching this one like a hawk a little bit. I also like XTNT. I think this one is looking quite nice. Was kind of watching it here pre-market thinking, you know, it could be a little good pre-market trade, but it was just a little bit slow. I like this spike in green volume here, but at no point did I really feel super comfortable. I did try a few entries, but either it didn't pull back hard enough, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't the right setup. So here was a nice little VWAP breakout. I was thinking about buying the pullback here, but the bounce here was a little bit light. I ended up closing my limit order. Could have maybe bought the dip, but didn't do that. As honestly, I think the best entry pre-market here would have been as this VWAP area did not break that hard and bounced right back up, and then buying this first pullback to the 15-minute EMA, you'd be up about 10% right now, just because the reason for that is because there's a bit more confirmation that there's buyers behind this thing. I don't know, buying sometimes the breakout pre-market, late pre-market is a little bit tricky. So oftentimes don't do that. Or you just, you know, at 7 o'clock, look at this thing. I mean, this thing runs, has consolidates, pulls up, but not a lot of volume, so I don't know. Thanks, Nishane. I hope I'm saying your name right. I totally agree, man. If you see the right setup, better to hit it, get it aggressive, than start FOMOing aggressively into a future setup that's not that nice. So XTNT is definitely our lead gapper on the day. Pre-market, it's already up 300%, at least at the high. 12 million float, really nice. So you can see that kind of 300% plus rally. US medical device company, and there's a kind of confusing catalyst about it. There's a 77.7 stake reported in the company, and I didn't really know how I should treat this news. I mean, yeah, if a company has a big stake in this, especially if the Orbit Med is a very credible company, then that could be a great catalyst. And apparently it is a good catalyst as the stock is up 300%. So sometimes you don't have to dig into the catalyst too much, as long as you understand that there is a catalyst, and then just, you know, check out the technicals. How has the market responded to those to that catalyst? Yeah, so at this point, definitely at the moment is the lead gapper on the day. Quite interesting. Let's see how this thing opens up. My eyes are definitely going to be on it though. 8.8 million market cap. On the long-term chart, classic kind of small cap long-term chart, we hit high close to 280, so keep an eye out for that area. Could be some big resistance. Definitely some more interesting zones here at $4, and then kind of roughly in this $5.5 area. I'll be looking at this one. A little bit shaky here, and you know, trying to figure out where the next price point is, but definitely 4.7 as well. So I'm going to keep looking at these ranges. Let's see if we can break past through some of these ranges. Also put an alert here just in case I'm not looking at it. If we start breaking, we'll have an open range breakout. So I'll be kind of keeping an eye on that as well. Yeah, but overall, XTNT definitely one of the lead gappers. I was going through a lot of my past trades yesterday. I was going through my trade journal, and I was going through my personal journal, kind of thinking, you know, what was I thinking back then in March? Because March was one of my best months. It was also the month the market did really poorly. And I kind of understood that I was trading my support line strategy, which isn't really part of the small cap strategy. I was trading much later in the day. Sometimes I would be trading 12, 1, 2 p.m., sometimes market close. I would basically not be trading the gap and go strategy. And that's why I was doing much better, which is totally makes sense because the whole reason I'm doing this challenge is to learn the gap and go strategy. So I have kind of another one under my belt. And it's kind of funny to think that I just subconsciously, maybe at the time, just kind of avoided trading the gap and goes. So lately, as of April, I noticed I put more attention to trying to trade the gap and goes, which, you know, is why I'm doing the whole challenge to begin with. However, since I'm not that, I'm not as experienced trading gap and goes, I was doing a bit more poor. However, I do like even, having a slower growth and getting better at this strategy. To me, that makes much more sense because I have another account where I trade support lines, I trade dips, and that account is growing very nicely. And I don't want to mix up the two accounts. So I want to keep focusing on really getting aggressive, and by 10 o'clock and 10:30 latest, really kind of being done with this account. One thing that I've been thinking about doing as well is even reducing my position size even further. So yesterday I was in a dilemma basically all day where I was like, I want to take this trade, but I only have one trade left, so I'm gonna maybe not take this trade. And it was always kind of this hit or miss. So you'll notice this morning pre-market, I was trading like I wanted to divide my account up to 4 trades on the day. That would give me ability to be a little bit less maybe antsy about any single one trade. So I might incorporate that a little bit as well, but we'll see. If I do a pre-market trade, I definitely will be doing that. Out of the gates, I'll take my first trade a little bit lighter, but if I see a good setup, I'm going to go in with full position size. So, it won't be the same for every trade, but something else I've been kind of thinking about as well. What's up, Sebastian, all the way from Brandenburg? Heiko says, drink 2 coffees and let the trigger rip. Have a good day, Sebastian. Sebastian's on holiday, guys. What is the acronym XTNT? I'm not totally sure about that, Jeffrey. XTNT, nice little rally here, looking good. Something else that, trading pre-market is a little tough for me is because since I'm streaming and doing the live, sometimes I'm like, running around getting things ready, and it's a little hard to focus pre-market on trading. So that's another reason I don't do it too much. Like here, if I was, dead staring at the chart, maybe I would have at one point entered the trade. This could have been good, 20% already. So who knows? It's a little bit tough as well, adding that kind of third dynamic. It's not bad. I don't regret it. I actually really enjoy it. I think I get a lot of value, and I think you guys also get a lot of value, which I find pretty cool. I wasn't expecting it to be that great or that interesting at first, but so I find more value streaming than missing some pre-market trades. So let's go through some of the other lead gappers. XTNT we talked about. I want to talk about ATHE as well very quickly here. 120% gapping up pre-market, 15 million float, which is quite nice. Australian biotech, and they had a positive meeting on drug development. I was going through the article a little bit. It was kind of maybe tough to decipher if you don't really know what they're talking about, but basically they are making some progress with some of the tests that they're working on, but nothing super concrete. But it was it was kind of interesting to read through. I mean, obviously I don't have any sort of medical experience, but yeah, I don't know. Apparently enough to get the stock up 120%. I'm not sure if the catalyst is going to really drive it much more than that, or we'll see. We'll see. But right now, what I don't like about it is that it already pulled back 30% from its highs. It's trending under 15-minute EMA, and it's trending under VWAP. So I'm not even sure if we're going to be trading this one today. I'll put an alert here, see if we break above the EMA and ideally the VWAP. But other than that, I'm not sure how much we're going to be looking at it. We're also looking at SONM, 70% gapper, 13 million float, quite nice, US communications equipment company. And they came out with a rugged coronavirus testing kit. So kind of interesting. A lot of coronavirus news, and it typically performs quite well. We'll see what happens with this one. News came out, let's see, what time did it come out? 8:30, so a little bit later. And oftentimes the news comes out a little bit late. Sometimes you'll get a really, really nice open on that because it hasn't been priced in yet. So let's see how this one goes. Could find some support soon here, touching the 50-minute EMA. Maybe it's going to make a nice bounce right here off of 1.4 or not. I don't know. Another one we're looking at, CLSK. Where is that puppy hiding? 55% gapper, 8 million float, US software infrastructure company. I'm not a big fan of their catalyst. Basically, they got a $250,000 loan on the CARES Act due to the CARES Act. Seems to me like not the craziest news for a stock to be going up so much, but that's what happens. I don't know with these small caps. Sometimes it doesn't take a lot. Anyway, based on the past results, this thing had some spikes to the upside, but constantly got rejected. Now, big resistance here at 0.5, so 4.5. So let's see what it gets. I wouldn't be surprised if it tried to, have a gap and go, run up, and then just kind of get crushed. Right now, big resistance here at 3.25. So I don't know. Let's kind of see how this thing performs, but I'm not overly optimistic, I gotta say. And you can see that, big resistance right here above it. Jeffrey's wondering if you should buy XTNT on the open. If you don't know, then better just not do it and, sit back and see if you can learn something. And then maybe next time you'll be a little bit more prepared. I mean, oftentimes I miss the opens because I don't like getting aggressive on them either. But that's kind of the whole point of the challenge. So I gotta kind of get a little bit more positive the way I look at some of these small caps for the first 30 minutes, I would say. After that, my negativity on the small caps can take over because usually it's right. Jordan, I have a whole video if you're interested on the small cap challenge where I talk about the strategy and what our goals are. So maybe definitely consider checking that out. So okay, let's see how we're gonna trade this market open. At the moment, CLSK isn't super attractive, I would say. I think XTNT is probably the lead one I'm looking at. Wowie. Yeah, buying this dip over here would have been quite a good idea. We're actually just about at my alert right here. So this thing could just keep on spiking. This is going to be probably an open range breakout here at the market open. Past pre-market high. Where is this at 2.8 roughly right now? So we have some resistance at 3. And then we have probably room to run to at least 3.5. Always an interesting kind of pivot zone at those 3 kind of $half areas. So I'm going to kind of put in a little notification there. Have a little sip of coffee, a little sip of water. Hope those birds aren't too loud, but my mic should be canceling out the noise from behind it, so I hope it's somewhat working. I'm going to be watching XTNT probably out of the gates. I got CLSK pulled up on my other chart here. It's pulling up just a little bit. Doesn't look too bad. We'll see how this one performs. But definitely, you always want to be thinking, what's the most obvious lead gapper, biggest room to run, best catalyst, best shares outstanding, biggest rate of change, and that 100% is XTNT. So if I wanted to be trading this one, I'd be looking probably, I don't know, it depends. It depends if I want to do full size or not full size. Full size would be around 350 to 400 shares. Otherwise, I'd be looking a little bit closer to yeah, I don't know, maybe 300. So we'll see how many shares I execute with. We got another 50 seconds till the market opens. I wouldn't be surprised, since it had quite a nice little rally here, if it had a little bit of a dip and then maybe had the open range breakout. This was a 44% run so far on it, so quite strong there. Sometimes, Joe, sometimes I use auto send. What's up, TI? At the market open, I almost always use auto send. I just always uncheck it when I'm not about to enter a trade, just so I don't accidentally click anything. We got another 10 seconds, guys. Good luck, everyone. CLSK already pulling up. $2.4, big support zone. So let's see what happens here. Instantly open range breakout from there, 2.9. Big volume here on the open. Huge amount of buyers here. Wow, wow, wow. Instantly got halted. This is quite interesting. Okay. Crazy open. This was going to open in 5 minutes. Let's go to CLSK. Second lead gapper on the day. Quick, aggressive run to the upside. Let's see if we can get a continuation on this. Had a limit order out for a second. Wanted to place it a little bit lower. Let's see. I'd rather be buying a pullback. I'm not going to lie on CLSK. I just don't have as much faith in this one. Congrats to anyone that got on XTNT. Some resistance here above at 3.4. Bit of an aggressive pullback now. Bounce, I would argue, is a little bit weaker than you would hope for. Cracking 2 here a little bit. Could be a bit of a bounce. ATHE, sorry about that. Some support in the 85 area. Selling volume pulling back a little bit here. Maybe we'll get a quick little pop here to the downside. Looking for a bit of a bounce here. First move to 97. Maybe we'll get one more pull, little follow through here. Some buyers coming in now. Can we break the 96? Still a lot of sellers in this area. All right, first little trade here. Not really the biggest blow away trade, but kind of wanted to lock in a little bit of profits here. Might keep bouncing. So little winner there. Nothing too crazy. Wanted this one to go back above VWAP, but it didn't. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get out of this. Could pull back again here. Remember I said CLSK, I wasn't too stoked about the overall performance of this stock. I have show trades on, but they're not popping up yet, so they might pop up a little bit later. ATHE, let's go back to this one. I might be done with CLSK. And then let's go to XTNT actually. This one's going to open up here in a second. In 10 seconds, this one's going to be opening up. Still not open. Maybe it's a 10-minute hold. All right, it looks like it's probably a 10-minute halt here. CLSK is still pulling back. XTNT, just checking, putting this one on my other chart so I can see when it opens up. Could be on the 940, so let's see what happens. ATHE, not looking too hot. I see you calling out PHUN. I do like how ATHE kind of had a little quick pullback here. 15-minute EMA coming big as support. I mean, it's not looking too bad. If I wanted to trade this, I'd probably be looking for about 800 shares, smaller position size. Biggest volume is on the sell, which is not always the most exciting thing. SONM, actually, no, I was not watching it. Let me go SONM. Not too shabby. Red to green move on it. VWAP pullback, though, I have a hard time trading those, at least based on my analytics. It says don't trade those because you suck at it. Sometimes Trade Journal makes fun of me a little bit. Oh man, I should add that into Trade Journal, where if you have like under a 50% score on a pattern, it just gives you like, says a joke or something. Shorty says, be careful with SONM, always dumps. Yeah, so far it is dumping a little bit for sure here. Long-term wise though, I feel like this could open up a little bit based on, potential, ceiling here at $2. Maybe we will see $2. It's definitely one of the top 3 lead gappers on the day. XTNT still halted. We were 100% right about that one. Look at CLSK. So it finally did what I was waiting for. Unfortunately, I was no longer in it. I just don't think I would have wanted to take that additional risk. Here we go, pulling back again. CLSK is actually one of the lead gappers on the day. I think XTNT is actually the lead gapper on the day. It just hasn't been traded, so it doesn't have obviously as much volume. Colton says my stats never say trade Mondays. Yeah, that's funny. I wonder how Mondays are for me. Actually, I have to check that. ATHE pulled back. Kind of not surprised there. This one really is low on volume at the moment. We got surf in the mix a little bit from yesterday. Absolutely insane. I have a long-term position on Surf, doing a bit of a swing trade on it in my IRA. If you guys watched the recap video yesterday, you probably saw that execution happen. Nice, got halted. Not too shabby, not too shabby. I want to watch here in 20 seconds. Potential for XTNT to open up. Somebody watching this one. Nice, Daniel. CLSK open. All right, guys, we should open up here. Instant break higher. Woo hoo hoo. Huge. Is it going to get halted again? Oh, I was so hoping it would pull back. It got halted again. Wow, quite an aggressive open. So XTNT, you know, pre-market, we said this was 100% the lead gapper. I mean, it was pretty obvious. It didn't, you know, it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that XTNT was, you know, had the best stats with the nicest. Well, actually, the catalyst was probably the only confusing thing. But there's always at least one or two confusing things. SNCA really making a little bit of progress here. Open range breakout, not too shabby. No catalyst though. Could see maybe a break of 1.5, 1.6, maybe even into the twos, but it's one of those classic stocks that I don't like trading. We have SONM as a new one. No, never mind, not a new one. Just kind of doing its thing here. This could be a potential VWAP break. I kind of like the fact that it put in a little bit of a bottom here. It doesn't look like it's pulling back much more, so keeping a close eye on it for sure. Oh no, PPO. At least you learned. Looking for a possible second trade here, just keeping my eyes open. I do think that we might have some potential with SONM. A lot of selling kind of volume overall in this one though. Some buyers coming in on here. ATHE pulling back again. SONM might be one of those kind of secondary trades in terms of like 10 o'clock might start being a little bit more interesting. Big volume coming through this one right at the end there. Let's see if we can get a pullback. $135 chipped away for a second. Impressive amount of volume on this one, kind of just popping up here. Trying so hard to break above that 15-minute EMA, but it just doesn't get it. I don't see necessarily a good setup on it. ATHE still pulling back. This one could be done. That's what I was kind of warning against. You know, those things pulling back over 30% on the day, so that's a bit of a red flag. CLSK pulling back here. Not necessarily any bad news that I see. I probably wouldn't trade CLSK unless it had a bit more of a pullback, in all honesty. SONM did not have that breakout that we were waiting for. I think they just had some news come out. No. Fake news. Just kidding. I'd probably consider buying this into a break of 30. I don't know, it's hard to say for the swings. The swings, I feel like kind of in the afternoon, you can kind of make better decisions on swings. In the morning, it's so tough. In the morning, you're closing your swing position. You're not thinking about necessarily opening a swing position. And swings, you know, you look for something that's holding its highs or whatnot. SNCA was halted. Yeah. This was kind of crazy, huh? Wow, 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 wow. Nice, Colton. I think those are pretty good halts to be in, though, overall. SNCA opened up again. Could break 1.8. New high. Woo-hoo-hoo. Look at this thing just absolutely rip. That's what happens when you have tiny, tiny floats. Surf just halted again. If I get out of my surf position, I'll show you guys that swing trade in a little bit here, but right now I'm kind of focused on the day trading, not the swing trading. what a huge rip on Surf. I was not really expecting such an aggressive move out of the gates on that one, but it had a pretty decent catalyst from what I remember yesterday. I kind of forgot what that was. And it held the 3.5 area very well. Who's ready to see the XTNT open up here? I am. I'll be looking to trade with about 300 shares, smaller position, but let's see what we get. Gonna open up probably in, it's tough to say, you know, it traded for what? It traded for like a few minutes? Or did it trade? No, it didn't trade for 7 minutes. 2 minutes maybe. Opening, pulling back here, support at 3. Big sellers on the 320. I think it got halted again. Nope, it's open. Wait. Here comes the halt. It did get halted. Ah, man, dude. These stocks getting halted too much. It's tough to trade them. You basically have to anticipate the first halt and then just, you know, hold it for a little bit. CLSK, not really too interesting. Pulling back here. Could be a good dip buy. SNCA. Not gonna lie, would make me a little bit nervous trading it near this $2. Specifically because on the daily, we had some $2 resistance in the past. 951. If we wanted to join the bid. Breaking out higher here. That was the move we were waiting for. I didn't feel comfortable trading SNCA. I probably would have took my profits on that breakout before 1.9. I'll quickly check my IRA here. I'm using TOS, ThinkorSwim from TD Ameritrade. Watching CLSK, guys, this could be a bit of a bounce here on this one. 263, big support at 2.5. Surf could be breaking out here. 289, 220. Some resistance at 5. And then I would say probably not till maybe 5.5, some $6 resistance here. Ah, CLSK bounced. I wanted to start watching it if it broke 6, but it didn't break 6. It started bouncing. Terry, nice to hear, man. Congrats. Would have to be pretty quick entry with SNCA. Surf looks like it's breaking out right now. No, I'm not holding XTNT. This looks like a little bit of a VWAP bounce, but I'm a little nervous that it might not follow through. Oh, right as I say that, we have a little bit of a continuation. Whoops, looks like I just sold my surf position. I'll show you guys that one in a second here. Actually, I'll just pop it up right now. So we bought this one yesterday as it pulled back to 3.5 and then had a nice little sell here at 539. This is going to be pretty decent little profit. Not too bad, 377 on that one. Unfortunately, it's not part of the challenge account, but still pretty sweet. SONM pulling back here, 116. Nice, I go cutting those losses. CLSK is a weird one. You know, I was waiting for it to crack the 2.6. I was waiting for it to crack the 2.6 right here, and we just didn't get that. I kind of felt like this bounce was a little premature, but just how it goes sometimes. I also feel like this SNCA bounce is a little bit premature as well. But I guess it wasn't a real pullback. I was expecting more of a real pullback, and this is definitely not. This could just be a little mini correction here. Still got a lot of volume on SNCA. Okay, now it's popping up again. Just be careful mixing up two accounts. I never want to mix up my swing account and my day trading account. It's very, very easy to think, okay, well, I'm swinging as well, so I might as well just hold this one for potential overnight. All of a sudden, you're mixing up two strategies, and that always ends very, very dangerously. I've been down that road several years back. You just can't mix up two accounts. That's why I have a whole cash account just for gap and go trading. Man, I would love to trade XTNT, but it's not really. It's just constantly halted. SNCA could be really interesting here. Still watching it like a little hawk. Would like to trade it. Not sure when though. SNCA is another really nice one. And that I just kind of don't want to stop watching. Wow, the pullback on SONM was just unreal. Some bigger buyers here now. Remember this one? You could see in the past it constantly tried to bounce up and it never really worked. Definitely some bigger support here in this 110 area. I'm going to see if it pulls back one more time, because if it does pull back one more time, I'd probably consider going long on it. It's pulled back kind of a lot from the pre-market run-up, so I don't think this thing will do a full recovery. SNCA still looking really, really interesting. I really like how this one recovered so quickly. I don't like it because I wanted to buy a dip under 1.5, but I do like it in terms of, you know, back as a potential breakout play. Nice, guys. This could be the breakout here. 1.8. Can we see that crack? I mean, yeah, 1.8. Like, wait. I would be so nervous buying this breakout. I would have to wear a diaper because I'd be pooping my pants every 5 seconds holding this one. I'm over here drinking, staying hydrated like it's my job. I'm getting all nervous watching SNCA. The big reason I wouldn't want to buy the breakout at 1.8 was simply because I felt like it didn't have enough time to consolidate after a really nice run up like we saw. I mean, we had a nice leg here. We had a consolidation. We had the second leg, right? That's a lot of movements to the upside. This thing's up 110% on the day. So I'm not trying to, I feel like a lot of high risk in this setup. So that's why I was like, I'm just going to let this one slide a little bit. The halt is simply a, if the stock moves over 10% in a given period of time, I think it's 5 minutes on the average, then it gets halted for 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes. We've been seeing a bit more of the 10-minute halts lately, actually. Heiko was trying his luck at some dip buying. Yeah, you know, it wasn't a bad dip buy. It was really when it failed to broke that 15-minute EMA. That's when it started getting a little bit unattractive. But sweet little recap here. Yeah, so right here at the 15-minute EMA, this is actually where I was thinking, okay, I might buy this if we break higher, but it never broke higher. Yeah, and then it started selling off again here. Ooh, this was a sketchy probably hold. Nice that you got out with such a small loss. It's really sweet. CLSK now moving back up. Heiko is South Florida Fishing Channel. It's yeah. Heiko's also my brother, but he's the host of the South Florida Fishing Channel. So you could probably also call him South or SFFC. I don't know. Heiko, what should people call you? Because I could see why people are getting confused. I gotta say though, the fact that you spelt his name right is impressive. A lot of people spell his name wrong. Oh Lord, what are we gonna do? I want to get some trades in. I'm using the 15-minute EMA. That's the light blue line. Nice. I'm happy I could take part in your recovery. Sweet. I'm gonna go to the beer garden actually in like 2-3 hours. So I'm gonna get a Maybach. And Berlin is so cheap that I could probably get a whole Maybach half-liter beer with those $2. EMA is exponential moving average. Ooh, my eyes are twitching. I'm watching the tickers. I'm not really seeing anything I want to jump into. SNCA is probably the one I'm more excited about, but at the same time, I'm not really too crazy. CLXK, I don't like the percentage change on it. To me, it's really boring. Still kind of searching. SONM, I'm a little nervous because it sold off so much. One AP Pro, that's so funny. That's a good question. ATHE, I haven't really been watching it. But actually, I said this a little bit ago. The fact that it pulled off 30% pre-market made me a little bit unexcited about it. And then the fact that it's just been trending under VWAP and 15-minute EMA, I kind of feel like it's dead. Plus, check out the past moves on it right here. Failed spike, failed spike, failed spike. So again, another reason I'm a little bit uninterested in it. Guys, we might have an ABC pattern here on SNCA. I'm watching this one like a hawk right now. Let's see what happened. Or it puts out some PR and then boom, pulls to the downside. Oh my Lord. Did that just get halted? Wow, 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 wow. That was so sketchy. Why did it not get halted on that? It was almost halted. Should have been halted. That was an 18% dip. MYOS is on the move. Yeah, I see it. I see it. I see it. Good call. Could be a quick recovery. Check out the $2 area, key zone of resistance. Definitely want to be very mindful. 1.6 is an interesting zone as well. 1.8, kind of these 20-cent spacers. So we just pulled above MYOS on the 1.6. Could continue. I like that breakout. I like what we're seeing here. Agreement to buy. Okay, distribution. So it has a catalyst. MYOS, 18 million, market cap, 11 million shares outstanding. This one definitely has spikeability potential. Interesting to watch. CLSK could just be pulling back from here on out. SNCA, woo, these tickers are a real tongue twister sometimes. Surf halted again, yeah. I know, Corey, yeah, that's crazy. It's been halted for so long. Oh, Heiko. It's always a tough one. Your limit order might get executed though if this thing pulls back one more time here. It had a pretty quick bounce back to the upside. That could have just been a straight up flush. The order book was a little bit thin at the time. Big buyers here, check out that. MYOS, I'm gonna put up MYOS here, MYOS. Pulling back up, could see a break on MYOS. Yep, that's true, South. I'm gonna call you South from now on. Now I'm all mixed up myself. 159. Definitely has some room to run here. Not a lot of volume on the day though. That would make me a little bit nervous on HEPA. Doesn't sound like very good news. SNCA pulling back, MYOS breaking out. Sometimes you just got to pick one. Yeah, Ruben, sweet. Still pulling back here. Doesn't look exactly too healthy. I'm gonna put an alert. Maybe it will break down one more time. MYOS pulling back. Shaky one. You know, I was thinking this could be a nice break here at 1.6, and then it happened, and then I was like, oh, I don't want to chase it. Now it's pulling back. I don't know how I feel about that one. I think today was a little bit trickier of a day. Trading SNCA kind of out of the gates would have probably been one of the better moves. Then it's kind of been pulling back ever since 10. But we were not watching SNCA that early on. Ooh, good call, Corey. Wow. What happened to this one? Halted. What was that halt on XTNT? This is why I don't like trading these halted stocks. To me, it's just like what is that? It's just, you either get super lucky or you don't. Like, I don't know. Yeah, Corey says the same thing. Heiko's in XTNT. Oh, God. Where were you trying to buy that halt? Surf is on fire. Yeah, it's 6.5. I should have just let my swing trade ride. But, you know, we don't see these stocks typically explode this hard. We've been kind of in a hard season. Okay, limit at 49 is not too bad. This thing still sold off pretty aggressively. When it opened up, I actually wanted to buy it at 49. That was kind of like my original, or maybe at 53 or something like that. But I think this area has a lot of support. It's also a breakout, multi-month support and resistance. I'm not sure why it pulled back so aggressively, already 30%, but there is a good chance it might pop up. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just not really seeing anything right now. I think I'm gonna fill up my coffee. Maybe hit up the big boys room. We'll see. Haven't decided. Be right back. Ooh, today looks like a slippery day for several people here. Carmela's in surf. Riding the wave again. I saw that. BTC pulling back a little bit. Pulling back a little bit here. Kind of crazy. I've been waiting for a pullback. I think it's going to probably continue actually for a little bit. All right, let's see. Let's catch up on all the movers while I was gone. Anything new going on in the world of small caps? CLSK, this was our first trade. Had a nice little bounce here, but it wasn't really enough to pay the bills. Let's kind of keep on going. Surf just doesn't care about anything. Just look at this thing. Just keeps on ripping to the upside. Probably getting a little bit shaky here. Heiko, let us know when XTNT gets unhalted. 6.9. Wow. If I held that, I would be up 100%. Bigger long-term resistance at 7.5 and $7 hold number is always a point of concern. So let's see how this one fares here in this area. I would be a little bit nervous that we would have an XTNT scenario on surf. That's what I would be thinking about. It would make me a very nervous little squirrel. Ooh, I need to take breaks like that more often. I feel so much better after like a quick little pausa. What's up, John? That's funny. MYOS had some alerts here. Trying to bounce off of 1.4. Surf is at 6.4 after touching 7, 6.6. Wow, this one's very choppy right now. Looks like MYOS is potentially pulling back one more time here. 10% move so far. I'm gonna put alert if we break 1.4. ATHE, this one has not been faring too well, although maybe in the 0.8s it will have a reversal at one point, but it doesn't have a lot of volume, not a lot of interest. I don't really see why I would want to trade it. MYOS pulling back that. CLS, wait. Whew, I just got CLSK and XTNT mixed up. I was like, woohoo, what a huge rip. MYOS had that pullback that we were expecting. Volume still kind of increasing to the downside. I don't really see like I would want to be buying a bounce just yet on it. Let's just kind of watch this one. Surf back at $7. It's a bit of a roller coaster on that open, huh? Hit a high of 734. Oh man, Jordan, really? That's crazy. Hopefully it was a small position size. I often take my first position extra small because sometimes, you know, I gotta wake up first a little bit and I'll make a silly mistake here. SNCA, I keep wondering if it maybe has a little bit of bounce potential. So they had some decent earnings come out and whatnot, but they don't have any catalyst for today. It's kind of, this could just be a giant short squeeze, really. Potential SNCA move back above the bid. Could be one way to play this. On the 5-minute, we have some support here in this area. It's not really my favorite specific setup of any kind. I'd be looking for a break back above the, I guess you could say VWAP, but really kind of a little bit of a, see if we could break this line here. Found some support at 1.3. That's not the most straight line, but you kind of get the point. XTNT opened up here even lower, bouncing a little bit. Did it just halt again? Man, it's so hard to... So hard to trade these halts going up or down. You almost have to just jump in on pre-market, which was kind of actually my plan. I was looking at it right here in this area. It's a pretty sweet run, but oh boy, Heiko, I hope it bounces back up to 2.5. I think, I mean, there's a good chance, but at the same time, you know, you don't want to just hold on to a loser. It is down about 40%, and I feel like that's a bit overextended because it doesn't have any news. It doesn't have direct public offering news. It doesn't really have anything super negative about it, so I'm not really sure why it's down so much besides maybe an order book that isn't that full, so it just has these giant spreads, which makes it halted. I don't know. It's tough to say. Surf at $7. The insider traders, yeah, potentially. I mean, there could be some rumors out that it will have a direct public offering, or maybe it had some warrants out about it. You could check the OTC markets for that. XTNT. Exercise price, expiration on May 6th. $4.16 a share. XTNT. There might have been some warrants that were executed on it. No, 4.16. It's really, really tough to say. I'm a bit nervous that maybe at one point we'll learn why based on a PR. Oh, yeah, that's really, really tough. Sorry to hear that, 1AP Pro. Look at SONM just constantly pulling back. This was kind of the prediction once. You could have even said it pre-market. You know, once these things pull back too much, don't become. I usually instantly stop losing my interest. Although at one point it could bounce nicely. You just don't really know when. That's kind of more swing trade territory potentially, but those aren't usually the best swingers. Is that even something you can say? You can't know. So XTNT opened up again at 2.3 and got halted again. Am I seeing that right? Wow, this thing is ridiculous. So yeah, good stuff there. I mean, we were kind of thinking that it was maybe a bit overextended on the way down because it doesn't have any bad news. So this dip has been quite aggressive. Looks like it got halted again. Yeah, it could be. I'll check that one in a little bit. Watching SNCA. It's the fact that this one has no cat definitely makes me a little bit most nervous about it. Earnings a few days ago was positive, so it's not too bad. Some buyers coming in here. Choppy, choppy, choppy. I think there's still just not really enough volume for SNCA for it to be interesting to a few people, several people. So, oof, look at that. Some new low. XTNT back open. Is this halted again? Honestly, watching XTNT makes my eyes fall out of my head. I don't know. I haven't really been looking at Surf. Man, doing a pre-market trade today would have really been the way to go. I would be a little bit probably nervous with Surf, although I'm always extremely conservative on these moves. So maybe don't listen to me, but if this $6 support zone gets taken, we might see a little bit of a low. I'm gonna put an alert here. I wouldn't mind dip buying Surf, but if it was halted on the way up, they oftentimes halt on the way down as well. So if you dip buy it, you might actually get stuck in a halt on the way down. See it, SNCA finally making moves. See if I can get a little bit of a dip high on this one. Ah, nope, missed it. This is exactly what I wanted. The order book just shifted on this one. Finally, some volume coming back in here. Looking for a bit of a continuation on this one. Buying the breakout here. $158 getting chipped away a little bit. Be nice to make about 10 cents a share on this one if it breaks the upside. Otherwise, I don't want to risk the low of the formal candle. So I'm out of this one. I didn't want to risk that breakout not happening. So basically my risk on this one was about 2 cents. 2%. I said 154 if we break the low of the breakout candle, the 1 minute pullback, I'm out of here. This could keep ripping. I could have sold too soon. I know. But breakout or bailout, especially later on in the day. So let's see how this one performs. Here we go, 57. So it looks like it will still break out. Whew, getting a little sweaty here. It's good fun to watch though. Interesting. I actually kind of want this one to break out because then I would at least know that I was doing everything right, except, here we go, one more attempt here, breaking higher. Maybe we can buy a 59 breakout. One quick more attempt. I'm going to close this order. Whatever. Still luckily green on the day. I don't like how weak this thing is. Look at that breakout, just so weak. Although this one finally had some volume coming in here. Gotta say there is volume. I would have closed half my position now for a small profit. These late day breakouts, I'm really bad at. I'm just not good at them. What I was thinking originally was buying somewhere in this area, but I missed this move, which is a little bit unfortunate. I got a lot to learn with these kind of later day breakouts. I don't like trading them because the market's not as hot, doesn't have as much volume. You don't get these quick moves like this, right? This is the morning. Here's a breakout. So boom, you want to be quick, jump on it. It's these late day breakouts I have some tough times with. I keep getting shaken out because it moves so slow. And typically, if it moves slow, you want to get out. So yeah, kind of annoying there, but whatever. That's just how it is. Got to get better at that. That's true, Satoshi. I do that every day, but I'm also still green, and that's I think I avoid some big losses oftentimes. But yeah, this month specifically, I've been trading much too conservative. But yeah, that's true. Something I got to work on. I totally get it. Yeah, what's Heiko up to? I honestly think that I just kind of want to stop trading at 10:30. That's to me after 10:30. I almost only make mistakes. I keep getting chopped out. But earlier on in the morning, that's when you can make those quick moves. So it's almost like just two different trading styles after 10:30. You almost have to like totally adjust the way you're trading. And sometimes I don't make that mental switch where it's like, okay, now I have to be a little bit more conservative. The breakouts aren't going to happen that quickly. So maybe buying the pullbacks only would be better. I don't know. I have to think about it. It's not the time that makes you trade. Yeah, no, exactly. Of course, that's totally true. My point is the fact that different times of day give different volume, and you can hear the volume here was a bit higher. People are a little quicker. Yeah, SNCA, really nice move there. So yeah, totally sold this one too soon. What I could have done is just keep a little bit better, a lower stop. So let's say if we break the breakout point at 1.5, that would have been about 5% risk. That would have been a better move. So yeah, kind of setting stops and just, if my stop gets hit on this breakout move, that would be good. Then I'm out, that would probably hopefully get me from selling anything too soon. Yeah, Nathan, totally agree. Yeah, I do that last part, Satoshi. I take my profits in averages. Usually I sell half at a time. But my stops, I keep pretty tight. I don't want to risk too much money. For sure, for sure. Totally agree. So pretty nice breakout. I'm happy it broke out because I was right, but it's tough to say that my timing was off. I think my timing was a little bit off, but could have easily broke out here. So it's tough to say your timing was off. It's more my stop, my risk tolerance or my risk level on this one was a little too tight. So breaking 1.5 would have been a better probably place to put my risk levels on that. Nice, nice. No, it's good fun. It's good fun. Gotta learn. Gotta make mistakes to get better. Wow, look at CLSK totally pulling back here so aggressively. XTNT just kind of flopping back and forth. The spreads on it are just so ridiculous. Oh, right now it's halted, but just in general. Hike, did you cut this position yet? Oh, you're still in it? XTNT opened up here. A lot of risk if it breaks 2, but it could be bouncing here. $2 big buyers. Giant spread, all right. Bigger volume now. 215. 222 for a second, or 220. Bigger buyers on this now. $221. Oh man, there's a good amount of buyers on this, but oh wow, this thing is so choppy. I was gonna say, look at that buying volume, it's so strong. Ooh, cool, it could break 2 here. Don't want it to break 2. 199, 180. Oh Lord. Sometimes you want to stop out. Oh, it's got halted. Got halted here. Whoo! Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, you just don't know how far these things are gonna pull back sometimes. Oh boy, SNCA. SNCA is the lead gapper on the day here, pulling up higher and higher and higher. Looking really good. Thinking about a potential secondary entry. We just had a 5-minute breakout actually right here at 1.8. A little bit bigger resistance above. I wouldn't feel totally comfortable buying this one, although technically it is a breakout here at 1.8. So this could, big volume kind of coming in as well. Buyers back in charge. Surf is below 6. Finally below 6. Yeah, I would need a smaller position size maybe on SNCA. This is a bit of a backside move on Surf. Anyone buy that 180 breakout? You could also set a sell limit order. That way it'll get executed, and based on how this thing bounces around so much, you might not that way sell at the all-time low, but then you're not guaranteed to get out. So it's tough. It's really, really tough. The suspense is coming. Wow, what a strong pullback on this one. This is why I don't like these late day breakouts. Quick 4% bounce. Hey Terry, day's going all right. Got one winner, one loser. Nothing too crazy. XTNT opened back up for Heiko. Sold at market. This was such a tricky one. Breaking back above 2, but who knows? $2 here, 203. $60 held. Would probably like to see a break of 60 and then maybe a bounce back up. TI, that's true. Yeah, Heiko, that's it's probably one of the like most stressful parts about trading sometimes when those market orders selling at the low. That's typically why I almost never use them, but it's 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 not an exact science, huh? Could see a break here. Potential entry in the low 50s. Didn't really. 57. Looking for a bit of a bounce here on 58. Might have gotten entry a little bit too soon. Yup. 62. Getting chipped away. Small trade on this one. Really small trade. I didn't really want to backside of the move here. I didn't want to push my luck. Got around 5%, maybe a little bit less. Small position size, so it was kind of okay. So yeah, we ended 40 bucks on the day. 2 winners, 1 loser. Although it sucks because the loser was actually probably my best trade. It just ended up being a loser. So kind of weird. That's just how it goes. Ran up to 67. 4% from there. Just trading a little bit too sloppy sometimes. So yeah, today could have been a really big green day. I just traded sloppy on that second on this one. So I got 2 ideas for how I want to trade this one. And I'll talk about that in the recap video today. See what Heiko's up to. Yeah, man, you'll bounce back. Yeah, the market orders into strength is actually very true from Paul. Or just buying the ask sometimes if it's a breakout or something like that. But I probably wouldn't pay too much attention on this. I mean, yeah, this sucks. It's always not fun when you sell at the all-time low. But think about, how could I have avoided even getting into that position? Obviously, a break of 2 is already way past any sort of max stop. So maybe here, I don't know exactly where you were on this, but I think you were here. You got in at the 49 on the way down. That's where you said you had a limit order or something like that, or something like that. So on this bounce back, yeah, it could have went here, but at one point you got to manage your risk. So accepting that maybe you had a loss in this area and closing out the trade for a less loss, or kind of going on that decision, being like, okay, well, I have a loss, but let's see how little I can make the loss. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one, man. Every trader is going to have to go through a few of those trades. It's never fun. Yeah. Surf back at 6.4. Kind of didn't really break down. This might have a continuation. I'll keep an eye on it. Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. Like, man, XTNT, man. I just, once I'm red, I'm so quick on pulling the stop trigger. On the halts, you could sometimes, let him bounce a little bit if it's at least getting halted on the way up. But at one point, you gotta call it. It's tricky. Oh wow, you had that documented really quick. Yeah, 24% loss on that. Yeah. Europe. I wonder what my max loss is. I'll let you know what mine is. Stats page for me right now is having some issues, like I said in yesterday's recap video. But I'll let you know what my max loss is. I think it's 30 something because I got halted into on a direct public offering. It was really bad. It was not fun at all. Nice, Gavin. Happy to hear. Yeah, okay. Okay, so yeah, I see your entry now. Yeah, that entry's annoying too because you weren't expecting it, right? You just had that limit order there. And sometimes it works very well and sometimes it doesn't. At least you didn't have a super high limit order. Whew, that would have been really bloody. And also, at least it wasn't at the perfect low. I think it even broke 180. Looks like I sold SNCA way too early here. Broke back above VWAP, had a pullback, continuation. This time I didn't average out. When I'm on the backside of a move, I take my profits at 5% almost every time. And oftentimes, almost always when I don't do that, I instantly get reminded why I do it. So backside bounces, I'm always a little bit more careful on. It did have some nice support on it, and SNCA is kind of the leading gapper on the day besides Surf, but Surf was yesterday's gapper, so that's why I didn't trade Surf really today. Yeah, I mean, today could have been a huge green day if I just held that second trade a little bit longer. Yeah, that's true, Satoshi. Small loss today, big gain tomorrow. Or at least, consistently going in the right direction. Surf is pulling lower. This is usually a good time to wrap up trading, especially if you just took a big loss. Or for me, it's great because in this challenge account, I have no trades left, so I couldn't even trade more if I wanted to. If I trade with bigger position size today, it would have been a bigger profit day. But I just need to get back to my main strategy, or at least get better at the gap and go, whichever one I kind of wanted to side on. Yeah, earnings, learning experiences really is what it all boils down to. So it's going to retest probably the 2.4, 2.5 area, but there's a really good chance that, there's going to be so many sellers ready to dump their shares. I think XTNT lost a little bit of trust after getting halted in so much. So we'll see how this one goes. That's always the worst feeling when it pulls back up after you get out. It's really, really annoying, man. Sorry you have to watch that. That's why oftentimes getting out quicker is the best, because then maybe you actually would have even bought down here. That's happened to me several times in the past where I held my bad trade a little too long, which actually messed up my secondary potential entry on it. So that's another way to look at, you know, a potential way to trade it in the future. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up here. It was really good fun trading with everyone. I'm out of trades. We had two green trades, one red trade. Technically, they all three could have been green. The thesis was right. The execution on the second trade wasn't. I'm going to review in the recap video how I plan to avoid that in the future. I got two ideas, and I think both of them are a little different, but they kind of work simultaneously. Yeah, guys, it was good fun trading with you. Like always, I will see you guys first thing tomorrow morning, and I'll see you guys this evening. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. I'll come out with a recap video in a little bit, and then we trade live every morning starting at 9:15. Till next time, guys, stay safe, make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao. Look, Heiko, it's pulling down now. That 250 zone, seller galore.